He's a good one, okay? He's very vocal about the facts and also the other issues, all right? Did you know about him? Dr. Shiva Durai. He's very vocal on a lot of issues, right? Dr. Shiva Durai, he's very vocal on a lot of issues, all right? He knows about what's going on in the world, and yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Yep, another one, yep. He's got a website, and join him on Tuesday and Friday morning, okay? Or even Friday morning, yep. He's got Zooms on Friday morning, right? OK， 好，今日係我哋係8月幾多號啊？今日係8月5號 ，OK， 我哋農夫嘅係維多利亞州嘅農夫嘅抗議遊行日 ，OK。Yep, today is a rally for the farmers, okay, which is the August 5th, okay. The first one to go in the let's say 31st second rally of this in the city, okay. 今日第32個遊行，係墨爾本第32個遊行，今日有農夫遊行嘅 ，OK。Did you know about this guy, Dr. Shiva Durai? He's very vocal on our issue. Yeah. Join him on Friday morning soon, all right? He's got a website. Sign up and join him. He's going to teach you a lot of good things.
They lost their way. So you're the gathering started together. I give it to my friends. They're really good at distributing. Yes, plus the cafe. Yes.
After you're good, you say ready for you
Right at the end, they say. Because I was going to ask him, because I was telling
I knew there was something wrong, so there was really a street of the end up all the time. That never does. Yes, we guilty of all. I'm not fucking talking.
He should have had his neck broken when he was thrown down the stairs. He should have had his fucking neck. It was Luke Sayers kicking him. Should have had his neck broken.
Who?
Anyone that's a politician should be fucking hung. That's why the civilians can't come in there because they're not in the know of the way they're
Yeah, because they're all a bunch of pedophiles. And that's why they're trying to legalise this pedophilia, where they're saying that.
Yeah, I seen this post.
You're
I said,
not,
why don't you
you're not a
release the
pedophile, you're a minor infraction.
Quick Kelly 都看到㗎，Quick Kelly 都看到。Okay, Quick Kelly is here too, so yeah. Hello. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is Dr. Shiva Duray. Did you know about him? He's very vocal on our issues. He's got 4 degrees MIT. He has spoken on at least 2 state congressional hearings about the bee issue. He's also very supportive of the rural farming issues. Okay. He's very good at creating movements. Okay. Join him on every Friday morning. Okay.
Friday morning.
Yeah, because he's got Zoom classes, he's got a website, okay? Go to his website and then join him, and he's gonna inform you on when on Friday there will be a Zoom meeting or things like that.
Are you from Hong Kong?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but sport and the concerts and all the other things are distractions. So if we didn't have that, there'd be more people out here turning up. That's right. I did think that would be the
Just watch the back of, so someone want old stuff. Someone want old stuff on the back of it right
No, I'm not.
We'll kick into gear in a couple of minutes.
If you want to see these signs, just have a pause the video for a little bit and you'll see some of these So, digital currency, permanent lockdowns coming soon, billboards for television. World Economic Organization creating a global salvation, billboards for television.
Backstory. Oh, not too bad. Way hospital these days, I have to go there yesterday.
Just thinking, wasn't there? I think that's that's
Did you know there's another group over there that's standing in the
You're a
governors?
superstar. I'm honoured to press your hand. Good man. You're very good man. One of the
well, we do what we can. We can probably get someone standing behind Wade holding that one and that one, I reckon.
Good job.
Well, we need these food, mate, so
Yeah, did you know there's another group standing over at the governor's house?
Oh, no, I'm not aware, but we're focusing on the farmers and the food here today.
Yeah,
with
but
these.
don't, there's another group at the governors if you want to go out there and support them because they're standing there every Saturday demanding the governors dismissal of all the governments, local, state, federal.
I know that, yeah, we watch a lot of that stuff, mate, so...
I'll give it another feel, right? So are you this person or somebody
I'm that
else?
woman.
Oh my God! New South Wales Police did this to you?
Yeah, they came onto my property for a couple of minutes and they had no lawful reason to do so.
Yeah.
And that's not acceptable. So
All right.
I sued them at the Supreme Court in
Yeah. Oh,
New South Wales.
good.
And I
Good.
won.
So that was
And I
2
don't
years
use
ago.
lawyers?
That was 2 years ago.
No, I had the judgment just this year.
Oh,
But
so what happened 2 years
so
ago?
they just came to talk.
2 years ago.
Over somebody else's flyer that they thought I might be using for something.
So it did occur 2 years ago, right? During the lockdowns.
Yeah.
But didn't occur in 2020 at all. That's the funny thing.
2021 they came.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so during we weren't really locked down where I was.
Oh, you're lucky, but you didn't escape for that long.
Yeah, but they can't do it.
Yeah, I
They
know.
can't do it. They're private business.
I lost my job over this too. I was
Yeah.
used to be.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think everybody's suffered, haven't they? And enough's enough.
Yeah, I know. I'm still fighting, and I just couldn't get my job back. I'm still trying to find a job. I'm living on Centrelink now.
Yeah, I know. So this is why we're all here today, because we want to see a change and we want to see justice for the people.
Look, the biggest irony is America, where the blue states, the Harlem blue states, blue cities, they got lawsuits winning after lawsuits. Washington D.C. last year, New York 5 cases in a row,
Yeah.
which ruled that vax mandates unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Even California.
So step by step,
California, San Diego, California, that's one another suit. The LAPD, some suspended LAPD is still fighting in California.
step by
California! Come on, what the hell's going on judiciary in here?
step by step, we can't expect it to change overnight, but if we keep going,
I'm not expecting overnight. I can't expect it overnight, okay? I'm not
that's
expecting
why we're
tomorrow.
here. Excuse me, I've got a few of them to take down to you. Can you print them out yourself? Would that be all right? So all right. Have a copy and that way
And Chirac.
I've got enough here.
And Chirac, you know Chirac?
I'm going to keep moving around.
Yeah.
Could I have one of those, please? Yeah, and feel free to photocopy them and hand them around. Great, thank you very much.
Oh.
Are you going to call that on Wednesday? I think so. I don't know.
see you there too.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, by the way, I got my YouTube channel.
Brothers Farm again. Well, all right. Thank you. There you go.
Oh, post those away.
Oh, by the way, I have
I'm
my...
gonna keep
Oh, yeah,
moving.
yeah, sorry
Thank
about
you.
that, yeah.
All right, everybody. If we can have your attention, please.
Where's Nick Patterson?
Right there.
So, out to everybody here who's made the trip here to Melbourne today. Welcome to Melbourne. Welcome to Victoria for those who have come from out of state. And also welcome to everybody who will be watching whatever we're doing here on whatever particular platform they are looking at it. We are gathered here today at the offices of the Victorian Farmers Federation. One of the biggest problems that we have going around with regard to everything that's happening worldwide is our food supply, our food security. For many, many years, myself and my family have been fighting agricultural political issues to try and save farmers. I'm a third generation dairy farmer. Now I'm not a dairy farmer, we're doing something different. But I'm a third generation farmer, and we have seen over the last 40 odd years a massive decline in Australian family farming enterprises. We have fought quite a number of battles over the years, and we are getting smashed to pieces. And one of the big issues that we have to deal with is organisations that supposedly represent our agricultural enterprises, our farmers. And one of the organisations that we have a big problem with, in my opinion, is the Victorian Farmers Federation. But just a little bit of history as to how we got to this point, or how I became involved in what I'm doing here. 1985, my parents were involved in setting up an organisation to try and fight all the bank foreclosures and all the things that they did to farmers to send them broke and get him off the land so that land could be taken over by multinational corporates. This was the first time that we saw this kind of thing starting to happen. And it's just got a million times worse from there. Some of the big ticket items that I've been involved here in Victoria and nationwide are the North-South Pipeline in Victoria here, which was a scheme where the government intended to take enormous amounts of our farmers' water that we use for crucial food production and send it down to Melbourne. They thought that during the drought, they can take our water and bring it down to Sugarloaf Dam for Melbourne's water supply. The fact of the matter is, there was an enormous number of other options for Melbourne's water supply, but they were absolutely intent on taking our water. So we fought against that. We fought very, very hard. And one of the things that led up to the 2010 election with regard to the North-South Pipeline was our coalition government was telling us that if they got into power in Victoria and they knocked out the Labor government, they would have a royal commission into all the dishonesty and the illegal activity and the corruption that led to the whole thing with the North-South Pipeline. And when the Labor Party went to the election in 2006, they were swearing that they would never take water from north of the Great Divide and take it to Melbourne. That was their election campaign promises. However, they already had ordered the pumps and the pipes. And what we saw was our organisations such as the BFF did nothing, said nothing. They have farmer members who they tell you, if you become a part of the VFF, you pay your money, you pay your submissions, we will fight for you. We're the very powerful VFF, the premium farm lobby group in Victoria. And I'll say from the outset, I think that's the biggest load of lies and crap you could ever imagine, and you'll find out why. It's interesting to note that in 2010, Flood the Pipe were responsible for getting the coalition government into power in Victoria. And we then fronted up to the water minister at the time was Peter Walsh. Peter Walsh was a National Party politician and also was an ex-president of the Victorian Farmers Federation. And we went to Peter Walsh and Paul Weller at the time, who was the member for Rodney, and we said, right, you're in power now, let's have this Royal Commission. Let's get to the bottom of this and expose that people are liars, the people who are in the business of destroying our farmers. Now, Peter Walsh stood in his ministerial offices with us and he said, well, look, we've decided we're not going to have a Royal Commission.
Bullshit.
What the hell? Well, we're going to just have a non-profit. And the reason he gave was, look, we really don't want to have, bloodshed. Now, bloodshed is the whole idea, because they have destroyed people's lives, they've destroyed people's businesses, they've sent them broke. People have committed suicide. Farmers have died over this. So we started to see very, very quickly that these people are not fighting for us. They lie to you. These are the corporate politicians. They tell you they fight for the Australian people, but they don't. We then moved on to the Murray-Darling Basin Plan. And the Murray-Darling Basin Plan is like the North-South Pipeline on steroids. That was designed to strip enormous amounts of irrigation water off our family farmers and out of agricultural production. And we got no support at all from the VFF. And we need to look at one of the reasons that this is happening is because our corporate governments have signed up to organisations such as the World Economic Forum, such as the Agenda 21. And the entire purpose of that is to destroy our country and our people. And one of the major tactics that they have is to wipe out food production. They need to starve people to death and into submission. And this is the very reason why they are attacking our farmers. And one of the primary things that they need to help to do this is they need to have organisations such as the Victorian Farmers Federation and the National Farmers Federation for that matter, They need to have those kind of people on board to shut down anybody who sounds the alarm. In the time of absolute crisis, our organisations like the VFF say, look, I don't know what you're talking about, it's all good, agricultural booming, it's doing amazing things. These people are, they're the stupid people, they're the ones who we are the good people. We are telling the truth. We are saying the truth. And these organisations like the VFF, the National Farmers Federation, they are running for the enemies of our country. They are absolutely trying to shut down any opposition to the World Economic Forum. And a big part of our problem is that people who now are in politics started with groups like these small groups, the VFF, or even your trade unions, the whole lot. They got into power from places like this, and now they have their snouts in the trough. That is what they are doing, that's what they're about. They will sell you and us out because they like their big fat paychecks, they like their junkets, they like all their perks, they like rubbing shoulders with all the people who think that there's something special. So they are prepared to sell us out for those very reasons. When we were having all the problems with the Murray-Darling Basin plan, and I'll tell you right now, that plan is based on absolute fraud. The entire thing was based on so-called environmental science.
Who are you with?
I'm with Aussie Hong Kong. I'm a YouTuber.
You're a YouTuber.
Yeah, yeah.
Which YouTube channel?
Aussie Hong Kong.
Aussie Hong Kong.
Yeah, yeah. You got to search on the, but you got to filter and go to channel, right?
Okay, thank you.
That's
Is
right.
whole thing on supporting this climate change
Go Hong
fraud.
Kong.
Yeah.
And the biggest losers, and what climate change was designed to do, is to attack farming. There is no way known that farming can exist if they implement all the policies that they talk about with regard to climate change. And this is one of the reasons why we need organisations like the VFF to say, hell no, this is fraud, it is killing our members. And they are selling us out. When we were dealing with the Murray-Darling Basin plan, I tried to get these organisations to fight alongside us. They actually tried to bury us. So we thought the propaganda from the VFF and others like them is join up to the VFF or National Farmers, whatever. We will advocate for you. We are here to fight for farmers. You pay your subs and we will go to back to you. We will create policies from the grassroots up. Be a member, get into the positions, take your place, get your resolutions up, get them passed, take them to the conference, see if they get adopted, and then they become VFF policy. So we did all that. We battled our guts out to do that. And what we saw was they deliberately just ignored the whole thing. We did the hard work. We were the grassroots members. We brought the policies from the ground up, from the people up. That's what I'm telling you it's all about. What's going on is we are dealing with a top-down operation. These people, as well as the vast majority of the political matrix, have no intentions of working for the people. They are working for the big corporations. They're working for the World Economic Forum, United Nations, WHO. That's who they're working for. And we need to do whatever we can to put the spotlight on that and make these people understand they are being sold out. Right now across the entire country, we are seeing farmers who are facing all kinds of different things that are being done to them. And they think these things are happening in isolation. But they're absolutely not. and transmission lines in the towers. This is all part of a global scam. This ties into renewable energy, climate change goals. And what that does is that this places enormous tracts of agricultural land, devalues people's property, and shuts down food production. Depending on which reports that you read and look at, what they are saying is that within the next small while, the infrastructure to support this supposed renewable energy will take up 50 to 75% of the prime agricultural land. So therefore, you won't be growing food on these places. So when we hear the WEF and all the rest of it, the United Nations, say you're going to have food shortages, they are correct. And they know that we're going to have food shortages because they are the ones who are creating it. And these are the messages that we need to get out from all our politicians, all our representative lobby groups, all our community, and every other group that's going around. These are the messages that we need to get out. They are so desperately trying to shut that down. So that tells you that is our power. We are the people. And it doesn't matter whether you believe in political parties or the current system, or you think that other systems should be in place. We all need to come together and push this issue. We need to push on whatever avenue we have. And we're now starting to see some of the smaller political parties and a few of the politicians who are now starting to say, hang on, this World Economic Forum stuff is real. This stuff actually has teeth. And now we're starting to break through. If we get politicians, we get people in the media who start to say this stuff, then the public is going to open their eyes. And the public is what we need. We've got 25 million soldiers in Australia right now. We just need to educate them and mobilise them. People power is the answer. That is how we win this. But we must break through and get the information to them. So I tried to do that with the Victorian Farmers Federation. I did everything they said. I became a branch president, and then I stood for the VFF state president's job in 2016. And I stood for that position on the platform of
哎呀，真好。Sorry, yeah, left, thank you. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. So.
You need to pay.
Oh no, that's I bought it outside. Seriously, it's not here, right? I didn't bought it here. I bought it from outside. Okay. Thank you. Fucking hell. Yep, I know.
And then I said, well, there's no time why you can do it open. Every time you go through it, it should be in there. So, the net result of that is, that's what they tell you, and they're going to adjust up whatever they want. And our BFF, our vehicle BFF, just do whatever they tell them to do. Some of the things that we're looking at right now, we're taking a very, very serious turn in history and in policy and in what's going to happen to our lives. And many of the things that we're dealing with, particularly especially policies that will affect we're seeing in West Australia right now, shocking things that are happening with the Cultural Heritage Act over there, agriculture.
We just won.
Charlie just got going, and now they're talking about shutting it down. This policy had a catastrophic effect on agriculture. We saw an example of your local crowd over there. They wanted to put in some trees. The local land care group. They wanted to put some trees along the river. And as we know, the land care group, that's what they do. You know, they're environmentalists to the nth degree. But from what I've heard, one of the newly formed Aboriginal co-ops or corporations went to them and said, under these new heritage laws, you have to pay us $2.5 million to be able to get a permit to plant these trees. Now this, imagine that across the board in ag, in any kind of development, in any kind of anything. So that's where they're going with this. And I say to people, the voice is a million times worse. The people who might think that the voice is about supporting Aboriginal people and giving them a run in the Constitution and making their lives better, it is not. It is actually about making their lives a million times worse. The voice will cost lives. The voice is the weapon that the United Nations and WEF want to use to take total control of everything we do here, and one of the biggest ticket items is food production. Their objective is to shut down food production, and the voice will be a perfect vehicle to do that. That will bring in the Agenda 21 ideas, and that will give them the power to totally control it. For those people who own land, if you're on agriculture, whether you're on a small farm or just whatever, these people will take control of your assets. They will tell you what you can't do, and everything will be what you can't do. It will send you right. Our food production will crash through the floor. So that's the status of that kind of thing. Now I just wanted to read out a little bit of a quote, or a recorded quote from David Johinke. Now, David Johinke currently, as I understand, is the Vice President of the National Farmers Federation. David Johinke is the one who went up against me in 2016 to the President Stop the VFF. Now, this is David Johinke's high impact, really relevant troops and fight against this stuff. This is his rules, and this is a part of his speech which is equally as useful as pathetic. These are the time on the land. What the hell does that mean? Is that a call to arms? Is that something to say to people, this is an absolute categorical threat to everything that you have to do and is therefore anything work for? This is a threat to our national security, to our ability to feed our people. That's David Johinke's lines. So, I put it to you, that's why we're in the trouble we're in. That's what I stood against in 2016, that the people who are running this are not fighting for our farmers. And they knew that if I got the job, and I told them, we will turn this battleship around and we will go to war. So all the things that they were doing would have been a risk. If I got the job from the President, we would have turned this around in a very short period of time. I'm pretty sure we would have had a royal commission. We would have had a lot of these scumbag politicians and bureaucrats in jail, because that's where they need to be. We talk about, you know, the National Party supporting the farmers. No, they don't. The National Party, the Greens, the Libs, the Labor, I don't care who you vote for. They're all a part of the one enemy of our people. They all work for international terrorist organisations. Today, here we have one guest speaker who is a part of an organisation that is getting political, and they do have a member of parliament, a federal member of parliament, and a little bit later I will ask him to speak, because I was a young national, I was a member of the National Party, as were my parents, and they had sold us out. We're no longer members of that. My parents have passed away, but we're no longer members of that because of these reasons. We have a lot of people who have a lot of ideas about the politics of our country at the minute, about legitimacy of political parties, of governments. They talk about the power of the people. They talk about the provisions of the Constitution. Everything that's being done.
Okay, here I am.
So we are in an enormous amount of trouble. There are a huge number of people saying we the people have the power, and we do. We have a situation where we've got some politicians who are making very serious decisions that are progressively affecting our lives. And we need to get stuck into them. And what we need
no, thanks.
is physically we need to attack the politicians who are associated. And if they're body into the same, say the right thing, and they're saying what we're doing, so they've got very small handful of do the right thing, say what they're saying, and actually expose what's happening with the government and what they're doing, and they're starting to tell it to people. That's the part of the and the vast majority of the city of they are absolutely terrible. They can't afford to have one politician still with their and what we're seeing is something
No farmers, no food.
If we have to fight for our future generations, for our future, we need to do that. Because at the end of the day, we are the people and we have to do this. And one thing we need to do is that we've got people who are, we've got people in Parliament who are starting to support us to get things moving. I don't care.
Where's the future?
Sorry, mate.
Stop. Ah, come on. Alright, bro.
But I'm ready to save it because there's no way I can.
Thanks, Ryan. I think that the last couple of years, there's a politician that's bucked the system, and I think you must put that props for me. The greatest enemy of Australian farmers today is this policy of net zero. And being an enemy of the farmers is also an enemy of the Australian people. Under this policy of net zero, they estimate, or the calculations that our globalist friends like to do, is that 15% of Australia's so-called emissions comes from the agricultural sector. And that has to go back to net zero. But that 15% is not the fuel that goes in the farmers' tractors or the solar panels on the shed. That 15% comes from the farts and the burps of animals. I know we laugh, and we should laugh, but that is how they calculate it. From our dairy cattle, from our beef cattle, and from our sheep. And they, our globalist friends, want to wind that back to net zero. So that's simply things, as we've seen in other countries, as we've seen recently in Ireland, and we've seen in the Netherlands, and with progress, it's just a matter of time until it comes here. That involves culling of our herds, the reduction of our flocks, and it also affects those that grow vegetables, fruit and vegetables, because of the fertilisers that attach them as well. This is a war we have to fight. But sadly, and I saw that for myself being a member of Parliament, not only the Labor Party, but the Liberals and the Nationals actually gave up and surrendered to the globalist deal on net zero by 2050. It was a shameful period. to sit in that federal parliament and to see national members of parliament that are meant to represent our regional areas of this country and represent the farmers simply sell out and say, yes, I'm going along with this net zero, knowing that will simply the slow decimation of the Australian agricultural sector and our regional towns. For a time we need to be strengthening our regional communities, taking the pressure off housing prices in cities. So for some people that this fight is really hard, I say no, I say we can win this. And there's a few recent examples. Look at the debate on the Voice. It was only a few months ago that in the polls were showing the Voice had 60%, 65% plus support. If the public got out there and discussed it, we had a bit of free and fair and open debate. And that support has collapsed because people understand it. We can do the same on this net zero. If we can explain to the Australian people what it will do to our agriculture sector, I believe the Australian people will get in and they'll support the farming communities. So it's going to be word of mouth. It is an information war that we are in. Every one of you is going to become a voice to use your social media, talk to your network of family and friends and acquaintances. And the system should be for our farmers generation. Exempt agriculture from net zero. We're really in a second situation, and I believe we should throw net zero out the window. They have to very limit. If we have these Victorian farmers generation, if they are going to stand up for farmers, they should be standing up and saying, we want agriculture exempt from anything to do with net zero. That should be the very minimum. And if they are not prepared to do that, if the National Party are not prepared to do that, we'll chuck them all out and start again. So we need to take that and up the ante. We need to get involved. There is no standing on the sideline. This is a war that we are in. This is do or die right now. When we see the referendum come along for the Voice, it must be smashed. Because it is dangerous, it is violent, and it intends to cost millions of people their lives, and that includes Aboriginal people. They are being exploited and lied to, so we must defeat that at all costs. One of the big things that we really need for rallies to do here is protest constantly, whatever, is social media. If you always use social media, that's how easy it is to do. And we know that the mainstream media are not going to cover what we're doing. They're not going to tell the truth. They're not going to report on this because they are a part of the entire problem. Our mainstream media has very well been brought up by the people in the WE and the enemies of our country. So they are in the business of attacking us, shutting us down. So we are looking at one of the things we federal Parliament on the misinformation and disinformation laws. So that, as an absolute priority, must fail. And we need to get as much as possible, and we need to push our politicians as hard as we can to defeat that bill. Because if that becomes law, everything that they're doing
here, you will never hear of it again. This is one of their primary weapons in the attack on us. So that has to be absolutely taken away. I think the people here, the people here, over the years,
Yeah.
Who are you filming for?
I'm a YouTuber.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You gotta go to YouTube but you go to Aussie Hong Kong and then filter, look at the channel, you can find me. Aussie Hong Kong.
Oh, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Yeah, I know.
Are you from Hong Kong?
Yeah, I'm originally, I lost my job due to the mandates.
Oh, and so you've got a lot of freedom fighters there too.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
He's got Zoom on every Friday morning, alright? Go on the website and join him and then talk.
I've seen him. He's running. What is he running for? He's running for something.
President.
Yeah, that's it.
He was a Senate candidate for 2020 and he lost his thing due to the cheating and things like that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
He's very vocal on this issue, okay?
Yep, brilliant. Thank you.
But what about F. Kennedy's on our side, okay? He advocated for the climate change, he has to be jailed, so he's not on our side. And the Kennedys were the one that enacted the 1960 Vaccination Act, okay? Although I support a transparent, and also we need to know who killed his uncle and father.
We are very ready to denounce multinational corporate ownership of agricultural land and our water. We want to fight to get the speculators and investors out of the water space. We currently have people overseas own parts of our water.
No, they don't.
When the water used to be attached to the land, and you bought a farm that X amount of water came to it. And the government did what they call unbundling. And the VFF supported this. They unbundled the water from the land that we have, and that needs to be attacked and repealed. We need them to cut their infatuation in trying to please the dangerous and toxic political excuses as to why they can't do anything. As I said before, they continually tell us, well, if we get stuck into the politicians, well, they're going to shut the door and they won't talk to us at all. And I used to say to them at the time, well, that's the time where you smash the door down. You don't take that. Because every time you do, they kill more of you. And that's the issue and that's the problem. So that's what we need to do to fight that. We need to fight for our members on a grassroots scale upwards. We don't need them to do it top down. They have their, what they call behind closed doors meetings. That's where they work out all their scams. That's where they work out how to destroy us. They don't have those meetings on the floor. It's so much corruption. And I've seen and I was a member of the VFF Audit Council and was privy to certain information. But what I'm going to say is publicly available and anybody can see it. We've got some members in these executive positions who have supported policies that have absolutely obliterated many of the farmer members, but the people who have supported these policies have made a fortune. They have made a killing. And this is a big part of the entire problem. So we need to make sure that because people who are in charge to make an absolute fortune and screwing over the other members, that is unacceptable. That is not on. So we need to get these people to not only our farmers but the Australian people. This is the deal. If you've got no food, and that is what's on the line. And we need these people here to light the fire and have a ready to go. And finally, I'll just say, if they're not going to do that, if they're going to continue the corruption, if they're going to continue selling our farmers out, then they should resign. They should be sacked from the board. They should stop lying to the people and clear the way for someone who has the guts and the integrity and the decency to actually fight for our farmers like they are supposed to do. So I can talk quite a lot more, but I must say I'm very, very, very happy to see the huge amount of people who have come here today to support Billboard Battalion's fight against our bad food policies and our fight to expose what's happening. Thank you very much for your attendance. I know some on the job, we've done most of Victoria, we've done all of New South Wales, southern Queensland, we're earmarked to go across to South Australia, we've got people over there. We're getting so many people are wanting us to go and present. So, thank you for all the support. We are having a very nice track, and I'm so glad to see so many other people coming on board and fighting for everything as well. Thank you. Just now is we might have a little opportunity to throw it up to a few people if they wanted to have a quick say. We've got somebody who's already standing here with a wine. Look at that, eh? What's the change? No, you just hush. All right, so we'll chuck it over to Sandra, who will have a bit of a say there, and if anybody, they have a bit of a say in support of what we're doing, then that would be good, would be great, and we'll throw it over there.
So I'm called by Sentia Ramani, and I'm here today to share with you that he who doesn't know his rights and he who doesn't assert his rights has none. We the people are the uncontrollable supreme authority here in this country, and it's time for the scales to fall. 21, the pandemic was in full force. New South Wales police officers, New South Wales. So this is the power that we have. So I took them on and I took them to the Supreme Court. I did not use lawyers. I used the Free Courts Act of 1400 because justice should not be sold to the people. And that is exactly the situation that we have right now. So I won that case. And that is a precedent that all of you now can use. Put your no trespass signs up. Nobody can come onto your property, whether it be the police, whether it be by putting these measures into place now, and that you know who you are and what your rights are. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the movement to try and save our farmers who might want to have a quick comment, or otherwise we can look at saying we've had a very, very successful protest here at the VFF offices in Melbourne at Farrer House. Very, very pleased with the turnout. Thank you so much to everybody for coming. Okay, yep, we've got another candidate here. Okay, and we present Cosette Murphy, and she'd like to have a bit of a say. Thanks, Cosette.
Hi everybody, I'm come from East Gippsland. Last Tuesday at the council meeting, we fought from 6 o'clock until 9 p.m. to make the councillors understand that the rural draft that they were putting up was not what we wanted. 4 councillors voted with us, 5 voted against us.
We can do this.
So that's why I'm here today with the farmers. We have a lot of farmers around East Gippsland. We are not going to give up. So if I don't go, thank you.
So I might just add a little bit more to that. A part of WEF and the Agenda 21 is that they need their local councils to push their agenda. Their local council
By the way,
are doing all sorts of things. One of
sorry,
them
did you got my
is,
card?
of course, the land use strategy.
Yeah. You got to join Dr. Stuart Ray's website,
We
right?
are seeing many groups who are now motivating against the council. They are getting involved in what's happening. They're getting involved in the process. And now we're seeing we had 5 councillors versus 4. Before they did even, they were just being 9 straight. So we've seen up in Queensland, councils being taken on about all sorts of things. We're talking about now, particularly in agriculture in Victoria here, is on their radar. The councillors know that people are starting to motivate against them. And conversations that I've had with councillors are, they used to just be complacent and now they're a bit on edge. They're going, hang on, the people are pushing back, this is not good. They're not supposed to push back, they're supposed to just go, we'll do nothing. And everybody's efforts, whatever political movement, whatever you believe in, as I said, and they are going, hang on, we're being wronged, they're doing wrong to us, but we actually have rights, we have things that we can do, and they are starting to exercise their rights. And the powers that be are getting very touchy, very nervous, and I think that's very excellent. We'll have a word from Nick Patterson.
Hey, veteran. Yeah. So you're involved in the Vietnam and Korean War? You're involved in Vietnam and Korean War?
During, not in.
Oh.
Not in the war.
Oh, because they think that veterans, there's a misconception that all veterans are Rambos.
66,000 national servicemen in the 1960s, but only 15,000 went to Vietnam.
Oh.
The rest of us stayed in Australia.
Oh, yeah. And they, of course, if you've seen that John Rambo movie, if you, that's really speak up for a lot of you, right? John Rambo movie. And there was a Daily Telegraph article about a bunch of your fellow veterans that went back to Vietnam in 2015, and they found that the enemies are suffering too.
Oh yeah. Well,
This is really the shit that they created.
it started with communism coming down from China.
Yeah, I know.
As far as I can see, that's the only reason we're in Vietnam, to try and stop the communists
But
pushing from China down.
But it was for you just died for the military industrial complex.
Well, yeah, we'll see that now.
And John F. Kennedy was the one who got you into this war. And neither LBJ. And LBJ should go to hell to LBJ. LBJ should say, I'm not involved in this. But unfortunately...
Well, that's where he is now.
Yeah. He is the one who enacted welfare, which got a lot of black Americans into trouble.
Democrats.
Yeah, I know. I started to feel I was ex-hospital worker. I got sacked over the mandates. I still couldn't get a job now because I'm vaxxed, and some employers just chucked me out.
We'll be over soon, I hope.
Hopefully, and I don't only want an apology, but I want compensation. And we are, if they put, there's already some articles in America that say we need a draft again. Nowhere. No, if they come up with a draft strike, we are going to stop the draft too. There's no way we're going to fight about Russia. Sorry.
Easier to swing an axe.
Fought a lot already during that war and lost a lot. And the Germany haven't learned from that, what they suffered in Russia. They haven't learned curse, they haven't learned Stalingrad. If you read the history books, military history books.
It's a bad one because she got sick when he was talking about it.
Well, I was last night.
I think I saw you in the library yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay. How much? Wow. We're gonna pay $20 for this one?
Yes.
Ooh. Because I rent a house, so I can't pay for it. I rent a house, that's all.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, thank you. It's all right.
You were live streaming, were you?
Yeah.
Well, thanks. How'd it go? Or
Yeah,
did
yeah.
it get cut off or anything?
No. I don't know why, but I hope my video can last long, all right?
Yeah. Well, we had one live streamed on YouTube a couple of weeks ago, and I'm surprised it's still there. But the other times that we've tried, it's been like we had one at.
Looks like beginning, hopefully.
Maybe.
And I'm an Aussie Hong Konger on YouTube.
Yeah, I met you at Mission to Melbourne, I think.
Yeah.
At Channel 7 or Channel 9. I think.
Yeah. Did you know about Dr. Shiva Duray?
About what, sorry?
Dr. Shiva.
Yes, I reckon you gave me a card about that.
This one?
Yes, I did have a look at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
You should check. Hang on. I am a hospital worker who lost my job.
yes, I remember that.
I'm still fighting now. I still couldn't apply for a job. And guess what? One of my auntie who's in Vancouver, she asked me how am I made. I said to him, in here Australia, they're still pushing for a jab. The government still pushing you to get vaccinated. And she said, are you kidding me? Just ignore them. And I told her that some employers here are still asking for a jab status. And I said, yeah, the same word. And she said, what's wrong with your employers? We don't ask that anymore in Canada.
Yeah, well, in some ways I think Canada's in a worse place than us though. Yeah.
Just as bad.
Do you want this back or?
Don't worry about that.
Thanks.
Look, but at least Canada employers are not asking you anymore. Look, the government has made a fool of ourselves internationally already.
Yeah, I might, yep. The thing is, Canada have got their Misinformation and Disinformation Act passed, the C20 or something it's called.
Yeah, I know.
And yeah, they seem to be moving ahead with the central bank digital currency and that quicker than what we are, and I think they're in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Look, there was some guy.
People
there was some guy in Holland that I met online with a friend of me now. He says, why can't you also act like the IRA? And I said, because these bastards over there, the cops, they're famous. So we shouldn't try IRA stuff here. And my father said, if you try IRA shit here, you're gonna stir a civil war.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but nobody wants to try IRA shit here. And IRA have they stopped anything over the island yet? No.
How many people were watching on yours?
About I can't remember. At least 5 or 7, 8. Okay, I'm ending this live stream now because the rally has ended. Okay, and I'm gonna have lunch. Okay. OK， 我而家暫時停住呢個 live rally，因為我要食晏。OK， 所以我暫時就停住呢個 live。OK， 我啱啱再嚟 live 個 rally， 再嚟一個集會。OK， 咁我而家去食晏。如果你覺醒嘅人咧，呢樣嚟一請嘅 subscribe 我 channel。OK， I'm ending this live rally now because I have lunch. OK， I'll come back. OK， see ya. OK， just please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.